Hi, my name is FernandaContreras. I'm a student of Civil Industrial Engineer at the University Católica del Norte, and I will present my quiz 2 of strategic planning with the Professor Sarfaraz Hashim Khan. I will start with the question number 1. That was which business do you like to have? And design a balanced scorecard for that according to the literature review. And how can you explain the process? So I first choose a recycling company. For example, ANIR, a National Association for Recycling in Chile. The vision for a company like this will be to be a leader, a recycling company with picking raw material from all the cities of the country and contribute them environmental by being 100% sustainable and hopefully avoid the manufacturing of new plastic, not recycled, from others. The mission will be being able to receive and process all the plastic that is given, having environmental compromised workers that share our goal, having a good and efficient line production, innovating in ways of recycling all the disposal that the factory makes. The process for recycle plastic in this kind of business will be an input of raw material that will be used plastic. This can be bottles or any other plastic, depending on the way that the business works. First, there should be a classification because not all the plastic are the same. So you should classify this by color and by size. Then you have to do the cleaning. That this should be fair if the people that are giving you the plastic will give you already clean, but sometimes that is not possible, so you have to clean the plastic and then use a press machine so the plastic can be all put together in some kind of geometric form that can use less space. Then grinding, that is getting a little bit of plastic, little pieces of plastic, and then wash these pieces with water. Then you squeeze it to eliminate the liquid from the wash it process, and then use a thermal drying with heat. You can eliminate the last liquid in the material, and an extruder, and then a thermoformer that can do the form that you need to resell this product because now is a new plastic. And then you can have an output that will be this new plastic that can be bottles, the same bottles that you have in your input, but new ones, or can be another plastic. It depends again on the work on the way that the company works. Then you have a balanced scorecard for this kind of company. You have the source video reference in the bottom of the presentation. There you can see a process of the example company that I gave before. First, you have to start from the bottom in learning and growth. You should learn in the learning and growth. First, you will train workers in sustainable field. Every worker should know about what they are doing and why they are doing it. If it's for the money, or if it is for the to 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 change the climate change, to help to it, or I don't know, but the workers should know what is why they are doing this and what is sustainable. And then search for government new laws, because these aren't right now uh, really good in Chile, or not good, but they are always changing. At the same time that the people minds change and the contingency, so you always have to learn about them, because you have to stick to them in everything that you do, so you can avoid to do something illegal. And then improving IT department. Why is this? Because everything nowadays is from technology. So you should need to have a good IT department if you want to survive in these days, like as a company. Then an intern process, you should innovation in the sustainable field. You should have more innovation. Uh, um, you should motivate people, your workers that already know about sustainable, to be innovative and have more ideas to be creative about it. So this is linked to the learning grow train. And then it's also linked to search for government new laws, because if you want to do something new, you should know if it's legal or not, or if it's for profitable. Um, then improve efficiency on offline production, because if you are efficient, you can have more plastic being recycled. You could have more demand, and you can grow. And and then you have intern research about employees' welfare. So the employees can be happy and they should be, and they have to be important for the company. They should feel important, because that will improve efficiency of line production. That's linked to. And then in the next step, we have a customer perspective. First, we have a quality control of the output product. It's important that it's important that our output product is good enough, so so the business, the companies that work with it, can buy it and prefer to buy it instead of a new one. So the quality control should be really important to our customer. That's linked to the efficiency of the production, because if the production works well, the product should be good enough to pass the quality control. Then you have a tracking, a record about the state of the product after the sale. Why? Because we want to know where the plastic is going, where it is, aside of the company of recycling itself. You need to know what happened with that. The idea, the object, the target, the final target is to not have more plastic on the ocean. So we need to know where the product goes. That's linked to innovation, because we need to to know to have new ideas for how we are going to track this. and most of it is with technology. Then we have improved marketing about awareness of the environment. Since we are a company of recycle, why people should recycle. So if we want to have demands from customers, we should aware them and the people in general that they should recycle because of the environment, and that will affect everyone that lives in the planet. So we should improve the marketing so we can tell them, hey, we recycle, we are a good company, so recycle with us, buy us the product, and because we are helping the environment, that will be a value for the customers. And finally, the financial perspective: reduce distribution and collect cost. That will be because if we reduce the distribution and collect cost, we can have an improve in profitability. We need to have a profitable um, a profitable company, because if not, we won't be we won't be capable to work, and the company won't be there anymore. We also need an increased revenue, and that's linked to have a quality control output and improve marketing, so we can have more inputs in money terms. And the reduced distribution and collect cost is linked to have a quality control of the output product, because if the product is good enough, we won't have these problems with the client, and the client will pay us and then the price that we need. And those two things will improve our profitability. Question number 2. Find a BC balance scorecard in a real case and try to explain it. You can find it in the research article or company's website. I found one that is a balance scorecard for a company that manufactures complementary leather articles. So the first thing that they did was they made a big description of the company and their goals. We have the vision, that is to be a leader company in leather and provides quality production with the best service, satisfying their customers. And the mission, that is the way that we are going to target our vision, we are going to get our vision to be true, is that they have capable employees aligned with the goals of the organization, offers valued products and lots of distribution channels to deliver to the customer, and good teamwork with ethical principles. With this, everything starts with choosing a strategic focus. So the final target of doing this balance scorecard is choosing a strategic focus that will be the customers. Then the objectives for every step of balance scorecard. We first have the, I'm going to start from the bottom to the top. That is how it has to be. So I'm going to start from the number 4. Learning and growth. Improving the learning and growth, the department, and logistic data. Now they have just manual information. So they want to improve that data and make studies about their clients' needs and market opportunities and staff training. to make possible the other objectives that are the ones that comes up on this. So that will be the objective of learning and growth. Then we have intern perspective. This will be to improve acquisition, evaluating suppliers, improve quality of the product with an inspection of every process that the product goes through, and implement a post-sales department with the goal to satisfy the customer and open more distribution centers because they just have 2 stores and they want to get more target market share. So they will be working on those things in the intern perspective as a company. Then the customer perspective, they will try to satisfy and retain customers, raise the number of clients, and improve marketing to get to be known, because they are a really small company now. And finally, in financial perspective, they want to improve profit and raise sales following the premise that the price won't drop. So they will be really customer. They will be caring a lot of the customer, and they will be really personally workers. They won't try to get to sell in massive production. They will try to be more specifically for the customers, so they can have a really good pay. They will have customers that will be willing to pay for something that is really unique and really good for them. And all this will be all this will be all this will be achieved by following the KPIs that they make. Then we have question number 3. That is, what do you think about the most important KPIs for evaluating a country? Well, I made a brainstorm about this, and some of the most important KPIs are the PIB, economically, that shows how much productively the country is growing. The SPI, that is socially, that determines that how much the social the people that live in the country are if they are happy, or they are unhappy, if they have work, if they are employed, how much poor people are in the country, etc. And PSU, that educationally gives you a grade when you end your school period, and they give you a grade with which you can apply for a career at the university, and that gives a KPI for the schools that the students are coming from, and the points that you need for go to a university will say how good the university is too, or that is socially used now. First, I will say that it's important, the KPIs for the country, because it reflects on a state of the country. I think that measuring the performance is one of the most important and difficult goals for the government because it shows how is the people that lives in it. It also gives a position among other countries to measure. If we use the same KPI, we can measure how we are we can rank each other, and we can know how is the quality of life in the country. Uh, in my opinion, it could be a lot of more KPIs in addition to the ones that already are, but it depends on the culture and the country. They also help to standardize social demands of inequality, social health, education, and environment. They are also, in my opinion, a good tool, but have to be correctly used. For example, uh, a KPI that was used here in the country, in Chile, was the approval level of the candidate to presidency. This KPI is really important for voters because most of them vote for someone that have high possibility to win. That way they don't lose the vote. But sometimes these KPI aren't 100% safe because not all people have been asked, and also they don't really know how many people is going to vote. Sometimes this information is really fake, and that isn't a good thing for people that are voting because they aren't informing themselves with true information. So I think in finally, I think that they are good, but they have to be correctly used. Question number 4. If you are doing an internship somewhere, provide an evaluation of the company based on a SWOT and a PESTEL tool. So I was doing an internship in Mental Mar. It's a maestranza. They work with iron, and they make these pieces of iron to the customers, and they are really unique, and they are really different and have a lot of variants, but uh, it's a really good company. It's small, but they are working. They have survived a lot of years. So the SWOT I will start with the strength. They have a stable market. They have the client that someone are really important. They have capable employees, really capable ones. Good installation. They have one of the most giant machines that can form iron in the region. And they have quality products. Almost all the products that they they go away, they sell are really good, and they have compromised employees. They have employees that have been there for more than 20 years. In weaknesses, they have long delivery delays. They, they, they don't respect the deadlines for the clients, but the clients are used to it. But that it's really confusing and makes a lot. That's a weakness. And they have high personal rotation. Since they have people that have been there for more than 20 years, but they also have the engineers that works there. They don't work more than a year. or 2 years. That's the top. So they have a lot of rotation in the engineering department. They don't have a strategic plan. They just work day to day. They don't plan nothing. They have resistance to change. They say that they don't have the resistance, but they do, because they have been they have been told these weaknesses and opportunities, but they don't do anything about it. They don't do marketing. They are stuck with the clients and the suppliers that they have always been. They don't market. They don't search for more clients, and they have key employees. That what's this mean? They have these people that have been there forever. They are really good at what they do, but sometimes if one of them isn't there, if one of them takes vacation or holidays, they the company won't work well. They the employees, some employees are too important. So if they aren't there, the company just doesn't work. And opportunities, we have to make a strategic plan, uh, start doing marketing to sell themselves, encourage the staff so they can they will want to stay there more time, and to want to align to the goal to the company. They will project themselves in the company and grow the market share and implementing KPIs so they can know how are they doing with their objectives. On threats, they have important employees that the important employees that are already told said can quit, and if they quit, the company won't work well. So they have that threat. Environmental loss of disposal, because they aren't doing anything at all about environmental. But so if sometimes the governments announce a law, they will be in trouble. The country situation that is really unstable right now, with all the quarantine and the social outbreak that was months months before, and lots of competitors, and the innovation from competitors. If the competitors innovate before them, they could lose a lot of clients. Then we have the pestle tool. We have a political, where government's law impacts directly to the company and their financial regulation. Government instability produce social instability, such as last year with the outbreak, with the social outbreak, and alarm state for a future possible quarantine on the region. That is a near future could be a quarantine, and they won't be able to work, and that will be a really threat to them. Environmental, economically talking, the economy of Chile is based mostly in mining. If the economy of this market grows, then the economy of the company will grow too. This is because most of the clients, of the important ones, are from mining business. So if the dollar goes up, they are affected. If the copper price goes down, they are also affected. And then we have social. First, social instability is an important factor. Last social outbreak on October of 2019 introduced loss of many cells and delay delivery because of the expectating of people that wasn't they didn't know what was going to what was going to happen. So that in fact most some of the employees around 12 employees was fired in this time because of the expectation of the company. They thought that they could go down, so they prefer to fire some of the employees. And nowadays, the pandemic of coronavirus will affect also the workers who will need to do quarantine some time, and or they can get sick and they won't be allowed, or they couldn't work anymore. T, the technology. If the company invests in technologies to record timing and control the process, a better plan can be made with real data. Now they don't have much data to work with, so they should invest in this. And also they can invest in new machines and reduce process time. E, environmental. The disposal that the company makes is huge, and they are not contributing to the climate change at all. But backwards, the environment will certainly affect the company function. And last one, law. In the close future, it's probable that environmental laws will be degraded, and contaminant industries such as this one will be affected. The recent release employment protection law will affect this company because they will have to make a contract with the employees, so they won't lose their job, but they will have to go for their security for unemployed. We are going now to explain the question number 5. How can you apply a LCA in the company which you are working with? LCA is a life cycle assessment in environmental talking, something like cradle to cradle, to recycle. This is a picture of one of the pieces, a product being processed, and this is a piece of iron. It's a cylindric one, and they drill it with a drill. They make holes, and they give it shape, so the piece can be sold. But as you can see in the picture, it has a lot of disposal. These tiny iron parts are in good shape, but they just give it away. They don't recycle. So could be a good option to recycle this disposal and with a heat produce a new raw material, so they can work with. So they can repair machines also instead of selling it when the machine goes down. Reuse the machines and raw material, as I said, and recycle the disposal. If they don't want to use the same disposal, they can also sell it to another company that can use it. Also, it's important to make company managers aware of climate change and their mission on it, because this company is really a contaminating one, and they aren't aware about this, so they don't care. If they don't care, they won't be doing anything to help it. And finally, question number 6. How can you evaluate Clínica Santa María in Santiago based on Tracy and Wordsmith's value strategies? This is the normal schema to use for a Trace and Wordsmith value strategy. We have 3 strategy that will be product leadership, a really differentiation product that anyone else can do better than you. And we have operational excellence. They have best total cost. They are really cheap because they are really efficient on what they do, what they produce. And customer intimacy, that is the best total solution. The customer responsiveness, how important is the customer differentiation. And I will say that Clínica Santa María is really extensive, so they aren't doing operational excellence. Of course they do, because every company have to work in these 3 aspects, but that isn't their focus. Then that's why the point here is close to the center. Then we have a product differentiation. That could be, yes, because we are talking about health. They can treat you better than in a hospital, a public hospital, but they cannot promise you you are going to get well, because they can do magic. So that's why the points are more close to the arrow, but isn't that close. And finally, customer intimacy, that I think is the focus, because they have a really good professional in every specialty of medicine that make people willing to pay more for a good attention, service, and security personalized. They give their customers a good service and a personalized one. That will be the evaluation for Clínica Santa María. And that will be it, my quiz number 2. Thank you for listening and seeing this presentation.